Hey, how you going, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Hearns TV, and it's me again, Dan, and I'm going to take you through an unboxing video of a really cool model kit today. And this one that I've got here, I've been looking forward to doing this aircraft actually. I was really waiting until a really good 48 scale came in. And today, guys, I have for you the F-8E Crusader. Yes, the Crusader. Very, very cool fighter jet, this one from a while ago. It first flew 1955 and it entered service in 1957. It was used by the United States Navy, the United States Marines. It was also used by the French Navy, and it was also used by the Filipino Air Force for a little while. Now, about the Crusader, it was called the last gunfighter because it was the last fighter jet made that had its guns as its primary armament. They were of the opinion that dogfighting and guns on fighter jets was obsolete and was going to be just jets exchanging missiles at extreme range. How very wrong they were when they made it to Vietnam. But yeah, anyway, I'll tell you a little bit more about the Crusader as we go along. And yeah, so let's have a look at what's inside this box. So as you can see here, this is a Hasegawa kit, and it's a 48 scale, and there you can see the Crusader in all of its glory. It's yeah, very sleek aircraft, and yeah, it's a US Navy, USS Oriskany, which is an aircraft carrier that has been decommissioned now for quite a while. So open it up, chuck that box over there. Now, here we have the instructions, black and white, in pages. Oh no, fold out pages. So here, let's have a look. You get all the, that's where all the sprues are. And then obviously, once again, start with the cockpit. Oh, you get the pilot as well. Oh, a little bit of shading. Yeah, so you can go piece by piece. The wings. Let's have a look at the back. Yes, decal placement. And you know, paint and markings. Yeah, I love that shark mouth there. I know that's on so many different other aircraft, but it's just so cool, isn't it? It gives it a face. It gives it a little bit of character too. And there's the old US Navy colors with the grey on the top side, the white underneath, and the dark near the nose. Now, Hasegawa, I just want to say to you, I absolutely love this. May have mentioned this in the past with the other kits that have done this. Sprues, one plastic bag. Yeah, everything's all in the one plastic bag. That's a good touch, because the less rubbish that you have to throw out, the better, in my opinion. So, this is a good start, I must say. Thank you, Hasegawa, for that one. Now, I can go there for a moment. Let's have a look. Let's have a look at the pieces. There we go. And here you see, here we have the Crusader's fuselage, indented panel lining, well, panels, and tiny little rivets in here. Like, I'll hold it up to the camera. See if you can see. Looks like I'm blurring it. Well, the camera might not be doing it. I'll get a little bit of light on that. Yeah, you can see all of the panels indented and tiny little rivets there. Excellent details. Very, very good details. I like this already. And as you can see, there's a lot of details here. If we go for the engines, the internal workings. The air intake at the very front. And that looks like to be, what have we got there? That's part of where the exhaust would be. The turkey feathers at the rear end. Inside of the cockpit. And there are tiny little details there, or the buttons and the switches that all of the pilot would have to use. I'm not sure if the camera can get that in focus. Beautiful, minute. This is excellent. I really like this already. And that looks like where the front landing gear would go, just under the nose. Yeah, wow. The Crusader, very, as you can see, very long, streamlined aircraft with an air intake just there, just under the nose. Here we have its guns, actually, the 20mm cannons up the front, 2 on either side, 4. That's pretty decent forward punch. The Vought Crusader was brought in to replace the Vought Cutlass, a fighter jet that didn't serve very long with the Navy or the Marines because it was really not very good. But this was a major improvement. Despite the fact it was a very large aircraft, it was actually quite maneuverable, very fast and versatile as well. The pilots that flew it absolutely loved it. Yeah, very nice. Another thing about the Crusader, I'll show you here before we get to it. Here is where the wings meet the fuselage. Now there's at the very front, this is where the leading edge, and then the trailing edge would be back here. The Crusader actually had a variable incidence wing on it. What that means is where the wings connected here, the wings could actually pop up slightly, about yay much, to I think it was a 7-degree incline, and that was to help it get more lift and pitch up for takeoff, and to help it on landing as well. As far as I know, I don't think there are any other operational fighter jets or fighter planes, for that matter, or any aircraft for that matter, that have done military service that do the same thing. But I could be wrong. Yeah. If I am, I'm sure I'll find out about it in the comments below. Now, what else have we got here? Let's have a look at the wings themselves. Yeah, see here, this is the part that pops up there. This is the top part of the wings and the underside of the wings there. And then there's the tail planes there. Yeah, now the Crusader was, it didn't really have a very heavy weapons payload most of the time. It only had one hard point under each wing, and most of its ordnance, other than its guns, were actually on the what we'll call a cheek mounting. And oh, just a moment, I'll actually show you. Back here, actually onto the side of the fuselage, strapped on missiles and rockets there. Yes, the cheek mounting for the hard points. But let's have a look at the details on this. Once again, excellent. Look at that, like right there. See, that's where the wings fold up. The wings would fold up to save space on the aircraft carrier. And once again, minute little details on all of the riveting for all of the panels. Excellent, excellent. Very impressed. Very impressed. Hasegawa's gone to a lot of effort to put, make it really true to form. Excellent. Right here. Yeah, a total of 1,200 and a bit over 1,200 Crusaders were made in total. The bulk of them were used by the United States Navy and Marine Corps. The Filipino Air Force had very few, and the French Navy operated how many? Oh, I don't remember. The Crusader was taken out of US service in 1976, I think, although the reconnaissance version, the RF-8, was used up until 1986. And the final French variants were phased out by the year 2000, where it was replaced by the Rafale. And here we have more of the control surfaces on for the Crusader. There's some of the flaps and ailerons right there. Once again, more very fine indented panel details. Yes. Very, very good. That's enough of the control surfaces. Let's get to some of the weapons, shall we? And some of the... Let's see, what do we got here? Ah, here we go. Yes. Now, these right here are small rocket pods. Right there, you have 2 big fat rockets in each of those. On either side of the cheek mounting, they'd have 2, so 4 rocket pods in total. And these look to be parts of the pylons where the cheek mounted weapons would go. There is the wheel that will go up the front landing gear. Oh, and these went to at the rear of the fuselage. Underneath there were 2 little fins like this on either side. Now that was to help keep the tail of the aircraft stable, because during takeoff it actually had a tendency to flip round and crash. So they added these to it to keep it stable. Had a absolutely sterling combat record, the Crusader. It scored 19 MiG kills in Vietnam for only 3 losses. Only one of those kills was made with its guns though, the rest were made by missiles. During high G maneuvering, which the Crusader could do, the G-forces that were placed on the airframe usually made the guns jam, actually. Sorry, there's a cord for my microphone. And here we've got some of the landing gear. There we go, there's the struts there. And the wheels, more of the pylons. And there's some of the for the inside of the cockpit, the instrumentation for the pilot. I can't stress enough how minute the details on that are. There's no way the camera's going to be able to show it. It's going blurry. But yeah, excellent effort Hasegawa's put into this one. Oh, and there's the other fin that would go on the other side of the fuselage to help keep the aircraft level. And here's more of the rocket pods. Yeah, that will go on the other side. Let's see. What else have we got here? Ah, here's the pilot. And doors for the landing gear there. And here's one of the underwing pylons there. And more parts of the fuselage there. It's a shame the camera is probably not showing this, but all of the rivets, riveting details that they've put along the sides of the panels are so fine. Yeah, this is a really good kit. I'm super impressed. And last of all, here's the canopy. Once again, I don't like to take them out of the plastic. All right, maybe not one plastic bag like I was saying earlier, but yeah, a minimal amount. And so the landing lights. And oh, this looks to be, the black parts there look to be for part of the landing gear. Oh, it could be for something else, but yeah. Excellent. Now, decal. Now it's only had the, you've only got 2 different kinds of decal here. The US Navy and the Marines. Their primary users. Would have been nice if you could have had the Filipino version of the decals as well, because I've never in my life, I don't think I've seen a model kit of the Filipino Air Force. But yeah, maybe in a future kit we'll be able to see that. But yeah, excellent. Right, and that's that. That's the F-8E Crusader 48 scale from Hasegawa. Excellent, excellent kit. Not too many parts, but really enough to keep it interesting, but very, very detailed. Very detailed. Yeah, this is excellent. You guys should really check it out. Excellent. Now, before I go, about the Crusader, I'm sure I've made it out to be really cool and pilots really loved it. But the thing is about it, it did have a bit of a high accident rating, actually. It's whenever it came into land, the aircraft carrier had to actually hit full throttle, so that as the jet was coming into land, it could match it for speed, and its chances of crashing were actually greatly reduced. Yeah, but awesome aircraft, the Crusader. Excellent combat record, sleek, cool looking. Grab this kit, guys. You'll be very happy with it. Alrighty, that's that. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Leave a comment in the comment section. Tell me what you think about it. And I hope to see you in the store sometime soon. And as always, rock and roll, guys. Yeah.